Good evening, everybody out there. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating. It's December the 10th, 2023. I am Psychic Liz Cross, and I am so privileged to have Owen Williams with us tonight, everybody. Hi, Owen. How are you?
I'm absolutely amazingly well, thank you. And it's good to hear and know that things are going well with you over there.
Oh, yeah, we dodged a massive bullet yesterday.
Well, I'm pleased to hear it because the world needs you.
Oh, you're so nice. Oh, and I know it's late for you because you are in London. Just a
Yes,
little
ma'am.
background. Just a little background. I pre-COVID used to roam around in the psychic circles in London. I would go to the spiritualist churches. I would go to open circle time. Then COVID hit. We ended up on Zoom, and I'd always heard about you, Owen. I had heard about you. Then I met Owen, and we just become great friends. And he also teaches mediumship courses. So this is why I want to make this video for those of you that may be new to the channel, or those of you that have seen Owen before and you were, contemplating whether or not you wanted to take the course or it was a suitable time for you. So I thought, why not? I know you're running a new course in January, and we want to talk about your course, Owen. So I'll let you take it away.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, we are running a course which is going to kick off on the 13th of January. And what it does, and what each course, in fact, it's the last of a series. I'm not saying there won't be another series, but it is the last of the series of introduction to connecting with your guides, mediumship, in other words. It's not about psychic, although there will be an element of it. It's to do with how can we make contact with our guides? Who are our guides? We will explain who your guides are, who they are, what they can do for you. We will take you through various methods of communication, including meditation, going through healing, talking about protection, chakras, how to use cards, angel cards, oracle cards, how to use a pendulum in a way to help you with your lives. So many different aspects, and we're going to pack a lot in. This course, which will be like the last 4 or 5, will run over a 6-week period. You have the first one is an introductory, no commitment course. That's a chance to meet the rest of the people and for you then to decide if that's what you like. We then, and after 2 weeks, get underway, and it's 6 successive Saturdays.
How did you manage to say that? How did you manage?
Well, I thought the teeth were going to fall out for a minute, but anyway, the 6 successive Saturdays at 5 o'clock GMT. Now, whatever time it is with you, I'm afraid you can work that out for yourselves. Now, it runs for 6 weeks. Each one lasts about 2 hours, although it usually goes on quite a lot longer. We cover as many aspects as we can of communication. You get plenty of time to, well, a fair amount of time to practice, but at the end of it, you can feel that you have begun on a journey that you may wish to continue. That's for another time. Right now, we have places, and on our course in January, for the simple reason we had people drop out when they realized that they hadn't calculated the time difference correctly, and it was too inconvenient from them. So we still have 6 places left. And if any of you would like to contact, I know Liz will put my email address up, and I will get back to you straight away and tell you the details. Now, the one thing that you might not want to know about is what it's going to cost you. Well, I look at it this way. I work in such a way that I ask for donation a donation of 100 British pounds. The reason I call it a donation is, quite frankly, most of that money goes out to people who are in desperate need. I don't think I need to say more, but we've been able to help so many people as a result of those donations coming in. That money is not paid until you had your introductory session, finding out if it's right for you, and if it is, then we ask you to send it on PayPal. However, that's very much for the future. That's the basic of what we do, and I think that covers most aspects of the course. It's all done on Zoom, and it's very straightforward to follow because I'm a simple sort of guy and I don't do anything complicated. So there we are.
Wonderful. And so just to recap, that's going to start January 13th, did you say?
Yeah,
January
yeah. 5
13th.
o'clock, 5 p.m. GMT on a Saturday. Yep.
Okay, so GMT is London time, Greenwich Mean
Yeah,
Time.
Greenwich Mean Time is the origin, but yes, it's London time.
Wonderful. Now, let's put your skills to the test, Mr.
Go on.
Owen. Just so you know,
Right.
Owen is very well known in the UK. Owen is a platform medium, performs on stage in front of a lot of people. You run a lot of circles. You're very busy. You do all sorts of things. You're very engaging in your teaching and your groups. You're very well known. They don't understand that. Those of you outside of London, not roaming around in these circles, you may not know that. You are very, very privileged to have this opportunity to learn with Owen. Owen is exceptionally popular. And
I'm feeling very embarrassed, Liz. Liz, you're going over the top.
I'm not, love, I'm not. And I just wanted to reiterate that. So let's put your skills to the test, Owen.
Okay.
Give us a reading if you don't mind, please. You know, this whole situation, we've got Ukraine, Russia, we've got Israel, Hamas. What are you getting out of the situation? Like, what is
I
the
will.
meaning?
Well, it's no surprise for you to hear that Spirit are already and have anticipated your points and your questions. The way we see it from Spirit side, because we differentiate between Spirit side and Earth side. Spirit side can be with Earth, but Earth find it difficult to be with Spirit in every aspect of life. So now we can start with the Israeli situation. The belief that this could come to an end soon has been dashed by the United States vetoing what we believe would have been a humane and humanitarian situation that would improve everybody's lives imaginable that we can think about, because we think here in the spirit world that not everyone understands all the detail. If they did, they would be horrified at certain things that have been done by one side, but they would not feel good about the other side either. So in spirit, we don't take sides, except if the aggressor is determined to act like one who would be involved in genocide or wiping out a whole religion, a whole area, and so on. Now, this means that this war will continue, and there is no way that spirit can bring it to an end. But we always believe in the power of prayer, and I can tell you this, that anyone who wants this to end should speak to their guides and loved ones, all those they know in spirit, and say, please help in any way you can, because you will never know how valued that can be. Now, if we move on from there, because there is no solution in sight, and I think you know it already, Liz, from your psychic side, I give it to you from my own guides, especially my chief guide, who is called Li Wang, a wonderful Chinese guy. And he tells me that everyone wants to have change in their lives so often, and Owen's going to get the same. So that's, sorry, that just came in for me. and I'm always open to it. The other areas in the world are countless where there are problems, where there is drought, where there is fear, there worry, all manner of things that people have to put up with. Now, if we turn to the Ukraine, here there appears to be a weakness on the side of Ukraine, who are trying to go further into the area of preventing any further incursion on their territory. They need more help. So do we take sides, you might ask? The answer is you don't take sides, you pray to influence the leaders to come together in a harmonious way and say, it's gone far enough, you've lost millions, we've lost millions, and that's just lives. No one has ever counted up just how many lives the Ukrainians have lost, but if most people know how many Russians have been killed. We want to stop the killing in all aspects of life on the earth. When you are placed on the earth, you are placed in a position where you always put others first before yourself, and in peace and even in battle, you should always be prepared to show the white flag and be prepared to talk, because if you can't talk, there will only be further illness, dying, and damage, which has to be eventually reinstated. What possible point is there in carrying on? It's through the egos, and for those who, once they've started something, have no wish to end it. We now know that the Russian-Ukraine situation is likely to be resolved almost like the last time it happened in their histories, by a peace agreement. But as for Israel, there's got to be willingness on both sides to talk before anything can change. That is how we see the whole situation. And whatever you feel you can do, just ask your guides to try to help without intervening in any aspect of support for one side or another. And believe us when we say that the love that you send will be reaching those who need it more than ever before. Those are the words we give you, and we say this to you now. The here and now is an expression you hear. Well, hear soon that the changes that are taking place in the Israel situation are looking more favorable as we get more information flowing in. Now we see the depth of sorry, I'm only getting this only half speed at the moment, but it's showing me that this is the latest news. There is concern in the Israeli camp that the leader may well be toppled, in which case there might still be a peaceful solution sooner than we would have known even a matter of 2 or 3 days ago. That's where we leave it for now, Liz. That's the latest report.
That's the latest report from London with Owen Williams, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm exhausted after that. I'm glad you didn't ask me to repeat it.
Well, you know, being a medium, it goes in and it goes out. You very rarely retain any of that information.
That's right, because you see, I speak as I hear. So I don't even have a chance to interrupt or intersect.
Yeah, that's right. You get the messages and we're the messengers, basically.
Yeah, it's called going with the flow.
Going with the flow. You're so amazing, Owen. For those of you that would like to take Owen's course, I highly recommend it. It is very similar to the courses that I started out. Owen, do you know how many people email me and say, Liz, I want to be just like you? Right? And I understand that. But I don't think people realize how much time, energy, legwork, remote viewing coursework, learning, years and years and years of practice, free readings, all of that. And part of that was being in Circle in London. And I wouldn't miss
Yeah,
it. I would go to London just to be in circles in the summertime because they were so important to my learning.
yeah. Well, we still have them, but now you'll be the teacher, not the pupil.
Well, no, you flatter
But
me, Owen. You
one thing
flatter me.
you've just said, I'm going to interrupt you, sorry, but one thing you've said is you're talking as though I am the greatest, like Muhammad Ali. What I'm saying to you is that I can only do what I'm given, whereas you work so differently
I do.
because you sense what's going on, you can hear what you're being told, and you can see very clearly in many different ways. I don't have all that, but I still manage to get the point across that anybody can do this if they're prepared to go at it the way anyone would that feels passionate about something.
And well, you have to find where your strengths and your weaknesses are, right?
And
We
that's
all have
why I
to
can
do
do
that.
that in the course. I can tell you, I will tell each person without them telling me whether they're likely to be clairvoyant, clairsentient, or clairaudient, or anything else for that matter. I can tell them that without them telling me.
Mm, mm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I know that. And I've got all good feedback from people that have taken your course. They often want more. They don't just stop at the first course. They go into the second, the third, the fourth. They like it. And I'm sorry, but that I think personally you should charge more money. I know you won't because I know you give a lot to charity as well. And we all have to do that as in this spiritual leaders in this community. We are expected to give a level to charity, and we do. Those are your genuine psychics, your genuine mediums, your genuine psychic mediums. There is a difference between all three of those that I mentioned. You'll learn that on the course with Owen. you know the people that are genuine, they are dedicated, they are passionate, they do not charge a lot of money. And it's because we have so much respect for the universe. We know the power of the universe. We know the appreciation that we have for the gifts that we have been given. Therefore, we will not abuse them, right? So, this is why the genuine people are really sort of on our level, Owen. Uh,
Correct.
they just
You
are.
see,
They're charitable. They're very, they're always giving out information. Now, I know that you teach people the technique. I can't do that. I don't have the patience. I'm sorry. I will apologize to everybody. I don't have the patience, but I try to use my abilities in a different way to teach people different things. So with the mind probes, I go in and I'm trying to give people, insights and guidance to how we apply this information to daily life. So I do things differently. Everybody is different. And I think that no two mediums, no two psychics, no two psychic mediums, no
well,
two remote viewers are alike.
if I could say to you that I make the point that we have different mediums and psychics charging different rates.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that charges the most is the busiest.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because people believe that they're getting an amazing reading, when in fact, it's very often in their belief or even imagination that they've had that. There is no difference so often between the lowest price and the highest price. And yet, why is the biggest one? Why is the big one with the big charge always busy? It's because they get a reputation for charging the money, not for the content so often. Although I was reading today in the Sunday Times that there's a lady who's working as a psychic in Selfridges, which is a big store in Oxford Street in London.
No, they have
Yeah,
a
and
psychic in
they
Selfridges.
have, and she charges £150 for, I think it's 45 minutes,
Oh
and
my
she is
God.
apparently very busy. But then that's Selfridges for you. But having read some of the wonderful evidence she's given, I would say, as I was talking about L'Oreal earlier, I think she's worth it.
Oh my God. When did Selfridges start that, Owen?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a good gig. That is a good gig. She will be
Yeah.
very busy.
She will,
Wow.
especially now it's in the Sunday Times. Everybody will want to go there
Oh my God. When was it published? Today in the Sunday Times?
today. Today, yeah.
Oh my word. I can't believe that. That is so amazing. Well, congratulations to her. Now, if
Yeah, good luck.
anybody is interested and you are local to London, Owen is doing a Christmas Eve service, aren't you? Would you be able to tell us a bit more about that, please?
I can tell you this, that I am privileged as opening your words saying you're privileged about meeting up with me. I would say that I'm more than privileged to link with Liz for the sake of seeing this very quickly. We have a mutual friend in George, a guy called George, who in fact is seriously ill in hospital at the moment. Now, he started a circle online with Skype or Zoom, and I was invited by him to sit in one week when I had a spare evening. And in that circle was somebody called Liz Cross. Anyway, uh, she demonstrated CTT, which is the technique of tapping, which you will probably be familiar with. And I thought that was something that I would be able to do because it was seemed to me so simple. So we moved on from there and we managed to keep in touch. I didn't know that she lived where she lives in America, but I can tell you this, that it came as a great surprise because I thought she lived in North London, which she did when I first met. So anyway, as a result, we worked together. Then we worked with George Duisman, who was the creator of the CTT.
Mhm.
Then we talked more. And then one day Liz said to me, would you be prepared to run some courses so as people want to be able to develop their links with spirit? And the rest has followed. And it seems to follow on a regular basis. So I'm very pleased with that. So I am privileged to have met Liz that way. But spirit always make the point that this is what I have on my business cards. One word, serendipity. This is a serendipitous moment even now, because who knows where it can lead. Those are the words I'm given. And to come back to the original thoughts that you were sending out, if you're in the way of working as a spiritual medium in London, then we have quite a number of spiritualist churches, and I have been asked to do a Christmas Eve service at 5 p.m. There's that 5 o'clock again on Christmas Eve, which is a good day to have a Christmas Eve service, I guess. And this will be an amalgam of special readings, music, and so on. I'm not doing the music, I'm doing the mediumship, sharing some of the parts with a student of mine, because I always like to encourage people to come and give it a whirl. And it's a very nice evening, finishing up with mulled wine and mince pies, I hope. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it again. That is at Barnes in southwest London. And if anybody lives in that area, because we do actually have one person who lives in London that is in one of our groups. So, and I can tell you this, I've actually been able to meet her, which is unusual because everybody else is online. Anyway, you got my email address. Always let me know if there's anything I can do to help. In the meantime, I hope that has been informative, because if it hasn't, I think I'll go to sleep with a large brandy.
Owen. Well, thank you so much. And again, for those of you, if you can't see on the screen, you could be driving, you could be doing something. You're not looking at the screen, you're just listening to our voices. Owen's email address is owenwll@aol.com. Make sure you email him, register your interest in the course. I will say to you this, that as soon as we do a video and we put out that the new course is starting, you do get a lot of inquiries. So I would not hesitate if those of you are out there thinking about, I need to email, but I'm going to wait. And don't wait, because you may miss your spot. And now, Owen, if they do miss the spot in January, when will the next course start? Do you have a potential date or month?
I don't yet, and I'll tell you why. Because at the moment, I just like to get a bit of life for myself. Now, that's not being selfish, but I want a gap and then to start again. So anybody who's interested, contact me, and I will always let you know if we start another course. I've got to say if, but I'm sure it will be when, and we will always be able to guide you spiritually from my place, because this is where I work. This where I'm speaking from my sanctuary here, where we do healing, we have circles, we have all manner of things coming on. Shortly we're doing workshops, which will be in our lounge here. Always things happening. So let's look forward. And I want to wish everybody who's tuned in today a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And if you have other celebrations, I think Liz mentioned Hanukkah and other things going on, different religions, sects, and so on. Just know that in the spirit world, we celebrate all of them all together. Oh, yes, there are no divisions. How wonderful would it be if we were like that on the earth, and that we could all live in harmony? That is our plea. Make it your Christmas plea, that everyone shall feel good forever and ever. I could add amen.
Well, thank you so much. I'll stop this one here. Again, if you look in the comment section, I will highlight and pin Owen's email address. Do not delay. 100 quid. I'm sorry, that's cheap as chips, Owen. I think you should be charging at least triple that, but he won't listen to Liz.
I'm a cheapskate, you know that, Liz.
Well, thank you, Owen, and we appreciate all you do for everyone. So thank you so much.
Bless you all. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Oh, of course, it's our pleasure. Thank you.